Excuse me, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's nighttime here in Springfield, but I just want to say good evening to everyone here. It's Chris Hurtado, your host again for the Hurtastic Reviews, coming at you tonight with a very amazing film and personally one of my favorites. As you can see, I have my pajamas on because when I think about this movie, I think late evening by myself in my pajamas, and it's a 1940s film, so I have these pajamas on because they feel like they'd be something that was born in the 40s. But yeah, so it's Thursday, so it's going to be my retrospective review on a film where I look back at films that I feel like have been overlooked or need reminding that they're still amazing films. Usually they're 1970s films as of late, but we're changing the pace with a film by one of my favorite directors. That man's name is Billy Wilder, famous for his films Sunset Boulevard, Some Like It Hot, and Double Indemnity. But for me, The Apartment obviously, but my personal favorite, I think his very best, The Lost Weekend, 1945, Best Picture film. Yes, it's on DVD, and anybody who knows me, I cannot stand DVDs, but it is brand new, so it's never been, owned. And, this is the only way I can get it, unless I had a region-free Blu-ray player, which I don't have. And I really hope this movie gets a Criterion release, seriously. But The Lost Weekend, as you can see, it has Oscar Gold to its name. It was the Best Picture in 1945. Billy Wilder directs such a fantastic film that was controversial when it first came out about the dreaded... it's dreading what alcoholism does to people, and it's actually a very honest portrayal of it, starring Ray Milland and Jane Wyman. Like I said, this movie was really dark when it first came out, and that's kind of why I won Best Picture. Something like alcoholism was something not very much talked about in the public eye, and Billy Wilder really made a knockout with this film. But like I said, Ray Milland plays a writer, and the writer at the beginning of the movie, he's trying to overcome alcoholism, and he's going on a vacation, but actually he has a bottle hiding outside his window, and his girlfriend and his brother are trying to help him recuperate, but he simply cannot get away from alcohol. And basically he tells them, hey, I'm not gonna go, but they said, okay, but we're taking all the liquor away and all your money, because he's poor, probably because he's a writer. But that's a joke. But anyway, he's stuck at home in this apartment by himself, but he ends up having hidden a bottle and has a little bit of money, and he goes out to the local saloon where he drinks away his sorrows, and he basically goes on a weekend bender, and it's just so entertaining, and not in the aspect of like it's funny, but more like it is so sad but like witty at the same time. Ray Milland is just amazing in this film. He can be such a rude person, but he can be such a upbeat person, and he can be cheerful. And like the lies he tells a woman in this movie, it's just like you're rolling your eyes and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy sucks. But he's obviously a victim to alcoholism, and it shows like the fears of what happens when you do go through the binge and addictions, and only Billy Wilder could do this movie, especially when it first came out. Obviously a lot of his movies have to have tones and themes that are not like, you don't bring it up in, like I said, the public setting. It's not talked about. It's kind of like hush hush. I mean, The Apartment is about infidelity. I mean, come on, like who's talking about that stuff in the 60s? But The Lost Weekend, it really is an amazing movie. It is something that'll stick with you. There's one scene in particular that always gets me, is where Ray Milland's character ends up getting into a hospital because he's just been drinking so much, and he ends up having to stay the night there, and he's just like incredibly scared. And it's a very terrifying sequence of events where he's like there, and like he's laying in the bed at night, and like everyone else there in the ward are like not mentally able, or they also have addictions, and they're freaking out and wailing and stuff, and he just is terrified. It almost scares him to death. And that scene always gets to me, and he like escapes, and like when he goes back to the saloon, it's so depressing, and like the bartenders even told him like, no, I know what's going on in your life, you need to stop. but he keeps giving him the money and tells him to shut up. And he's like, this writer who's he hates how he's not a big writer. He's been trying to write a book and it's been unsuccessful. And he thought drinking a little bit of booze was going to help, but that never helps anything. But yeah, the ending is like especially profound because he kind of finds a new beginning. He has a reason to write again since he's had this writer's block, and it has to do with alcohol. And like, I just love the scene. It's just very inspirational almost in a way. And Ray Milland was perfect for this role. Yeah, actually, just reading it, Billy Wilder was almost never releasing this film because of the poor reaction by preview audiences. How could they not like this movie? Are you kidding me? In 1945, maybe, but like, come on, Billy. Should have just released. It's just funny with movies like this, they're not very well received at first, but like they end up becoming amazing. And like he won the Best Picture for this movie. The DVD by itself, I mean, it's a black and white picture. So I guess it's not super important, but I mean, still looks pretty good. It holds up. If it had a Blu-ray, that would be amazing. And when it does come out, probably on a Criterion at some point, I'm hoping it will. I'm gonna be all on it. Probably it'll probably be a Kino Lorber maybe too, but it is definitely an all-time great. This has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first when I was in high school, I rented this movie on DVD at Family Video, and it's kind of like where I started. It was my first like foray into watching every Best Picture winner ever, and I don't know why, but I started here, and it just blew me away, and I always go back to it. I've seen this movie about 3 times, and I can keep watching this movie. It's kind of like opened my eyes to who Billy Wilder was and his filmography, and it's so amazing. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Ace in the Hole soon, which has Kirk Douglas, I believe. But yeah, for the Hurtastic reviews, this is a 5 out of 5 film. You heard it here first, and I will defend this film for why it's a perfect movie. It also has an Oscar gold to its name when it actually meant something, unlike now where the Oscars don't even have a host. Anyway, enough about that. I hope everyone's been enjoying these last few videos I've been putting up. You know, I'm going through like this change on the channel where I want to post more often just so I can get you all exposed to different movies and you can hear my thoughts on what's going on. And I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to hear it in that comment section below. So leave a comment down below, and maybe you might be surprised with the message with the digital code. Who knows? But yeah, give a like and subscribe. I also have Letterboxd. And I've been writing reviews. I haven't done a written review on The Lost Weekend yet. I probably should. Maybe I'll be motivated with a beer in my hands to write this review. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night. Get those cozy pajamas on, and I'll see you all next time.